We show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along. Join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or
Ride along live, worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe.
Right along live, welcome to the ride. Welcome to Wednesday on the ride. Yes, a lot happening, guys. A whole lot happening. A lot of things happening. A lot to discuss on today's program. We're going to try to push it into this hour. A lot of late breaking news. So we want to get straight into it. But before we do that, let's big up my top class rider and urge you guys to share up the thing. Share it once, share it twice. I'm going to do the same as well. Lacey, thank you, Lacey. Thank you so much at followers. Let me do that here. Yeah, there we go. At followers. Good evening to you, Maria. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Nice. All right. Guys, I'm not sure if you heard the news earlier today. We posted it on the Ridealong homepage. And thanks to Raul Titus, we got the news from Raul Titus blog. And the headline of the story is Mass Resignation rocks the NNP as the St. George branch walks out. That's right after. I don't know if you guys saw the interview, the conversation, I should say, that we had on Monday, because Honorable Peter David, who is the duly elected MP for that constituency, Peter David also resigned from the NNP. So that happened right after. It's a breaking news, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of update on that story right before we talk about our other big story that we scheduled to speak about, right? So don't worry, guys. If you tune in to hear the immigration conversation, we are going to be speaking about it. But right now, I want to bring you guys up to speed with this story that just came through the wire, and we wanted to get some clarification on this story right here. So we have a gentleman who will be joining us shortly to give us the information that we need that would clarify this. His name is Mr. Fabian Bowen, and he's joining us via the phone line. Fabian, are you there? Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, thank you, Fabian, for joining us on this. I know it was a quick call for clarification. So, Fabian, what could you tell us? We saw the news earlier today in regards to the mass resignation that rocked the NNP as the St. George branch walks out. Tell us more about that. What actually happened? What's going on here?
Well, I didn't see that news, but what I can tell you, my knowledge, according to my knowledge, over 17 members of the executive branch in the town resigned. That comes from the youth arm, the women's arm, and the constituency executive branch. In total, about 17 members resigned from the NNP party.
Right. And why the sudden resignation, Fabian?
Well, all the members hold the same view that they are dissatisfied or not happy how the MP, Mr. Peter David, were treated. They did not satisfy how he was treated. With this whole thing coming up to the last convention, they didn't like how he was treated. And that triggered off that resignation. In fact, when Mr. David decided that he's going to resign, the executive, these branches follow him. They said, if you are resigning, we are resigning too. We are going with you. Because it was a dissatisfaction with how he was treated. To go into the details how he was treated, I guess many people know how he was treated. Not many people, but the world know how he was treated. What I could say, the NNP party is a party that I love and a party that I supported for the last 32 years. I was a card-bearing member for the last 20 years. And a party I was very proud of. Very proud of. But however, that party has a doctrine, which is, you're just getting to learn about it, which is called a conservative party. And they follow this sort of conservative doctrine. It's not really embedded in their constitution, but they is something that the party believes in. And if they don't consider you to be a conservative, then you cannot be the leader of the party. You cannot reach leadership of the party. And I think they did it all in their power to frustrate Mr. David so that he could not become the leader of the party. The only sin is he's not a conservative. Because up to this day, they couldn't have explained or say to us why he was getting all this name calling and all this, things that you would not expect from a party and from the hierarchy of a party to going on a stage and behaving in that manner. We wondered why all these things were saying. And then people was coming and asking different questions. Why are you all NMP getting on so? What is this and what is that? Even we didn't understand at the time why this thing reached that level. Only to realize that Mr. David is not considered to be a conservative. They consider him to be something else. So he cannot attain that position of leadership. But we know he possessed the ability, the qualities, the ability to become a leader or to be a leader. And we don't think that that treatment was right. So as a result, we follow him.
Right. Vivian, did you have a chance to speak to the leadership of the party, or did the 17 that resigned, did they have an opportunity to speak to the leadership on their way forward? And what was the reaction when those resignations was handed in?
No, I don't think they had speak to the leadership of the party. They had any opportunity to speak to the leadership of the party. I think that they was listening to things and they were following what was going on. And as a result, people made a sober decision.
Right.
To resign.
So
I must say...
Go ahead, sorry.
I must say, NMP is a party that we love. And we didn't resign because we hate anybody or we despise anybody. We resigned on that principle fact that the way Mr. David was treated, you don't treat a person like that. You see, in this world, people see things going wrong and they does not say nothing. They allows it. They put their tail in their bum. They allows it to happen. And it goes on. And they says nothing. People like that, I believe, is dead people. They're not living because they cannot bring out how they feel. And I think the executive, that branch in town, by making that, by resigning, shows how they feel. That this thing was wrong, the way Mr. David was treated.
Right. What impact do you think that 17 resignation would have on the party as a whole?
Well, numbers. If you have 117 go, you have less numbers. Yes, from a number standpoint, the party lose numbers. And remember, when 17 people leave the party, most times, in most cases, some of them have family of 6 and 5 and 7. So you always lose a bigger number than the number that just resigned. Sometimes you lose a big number. But try to give any facts on how it would affect the party. No, I don't have that kind of thing to give that facts to say how it will affect the party. But I know that losing is not good.
Right. What about the current leadership? Do you think that the current leadership possess the strength to win in the upcoming election, or what's your take on the current leadership?
Well, I must say the present leader right now is somebody I respect a lot. I love that lady a lot, and I respect her. And I wish her all the best in going forward to become the Prime Minister of Grenada or leading the NNP. However, I believe Mr. David was the better person to lead the party, the better person to bring us to victory. I believe if Mr. David was given that chance, our NMP chance of winning the next general election would have been 99% possible. I believe so.
Right.
But I believe NMP right now has a lot of work to do, and their chances of winning that general election, I believe it's slim. I believe it's very slim.
Right. Yesterday, in an interview at a press conference, the current leader of the NNP said that by Peter David leaving the NNP, it only means bad for the NDC. Who benefit and who lose, in your opinion, from Peter David leaving the NNP? From your perspective.
Peter David leaving the NNP will lose. They will be hurt because Peter David comes with supporters. He had came with supporters. He had came with hundreds, thousands of supporters. And he leaving will hurt the NNP. However, I don't know what... I am not in the lady's mind to tell you how she come up to that conclusion that NDC will be hurt the most. However, neither I don't know what is Mr. David next step. I don't know if she know what is his next step. That's why she's saying that. But I don't know how it will hurt NDC more than it will hurt NNP. I has no evidence to say it will hurt NDC more than it hurt NNP. But what I know that Mr. David has a lot of supporters in NDC as well in NNP. So if Mr. David go to make a move, let's say he going to establish a party, he would have a lot of supporters, and both parties will lose supporters because they will go to Mr. David. So I don't know how it comes that she's saying only NDC will go feel it. I believe NNP will feel it a lot.
Right, right. And you said earlier that you're very close friends with the current leadership. And do you think by speaking out, I know you were on another platform earlier this week. You're here on Ridealong now speaking on this resignation. Do you think that by being out and speaking on this topic, do you think that it hurts or it will in turn hurt the NNP even more?
Well, my intention is not to hurt anybody, it's just to give a reason why we resign, So I am not speaking with the intent to hurt anybody. I am just speaking, giving clarity why we resign, But as I will always say, losing always hurt you. If you invest in something and then you end up losing, it will hurt you. So anytime numbers are going away from you, it will hurt you.
Right.
It's like a bleeding, and you don't know how to control that bleeding. Because this is only the tongue of St. George that sent in their resignation. We don't know in other constituency what they will do.
Are you hearing about any further resignation in other constituencies?
No, not at this time. I'm not hearing of any other resignation. But I believe in other constituency, people will do the same. This is my belief. People will do the same. They will resign.
And then what then will become of the party if there are 2 and 3 and 4 constituencies that essentially resign or just not existing anymore? What will become of the party and these constituencies as a whole, from your perspective?
I don't think these resignations could mash up the party or cause the party to be non-existent. No, I don't think so. Because there will always be NNP people who will pick up the mantle and move on. But it will hurt because when numbers tends to go away from you, as I said, it will hurt.
Right.
And it takes now Mr. David what he wants to do with these numbers that he's getting. What he wants to do with these numbers. So that next move lies with Mr. David and what he wants to do with these numbers.
Right. So what's next for you? What's next for the 17? What's next for that group of people who are resigned from the party? Would they now join the NDC? Would they now follow Peter wherever they decide to go? And what advice also would you have for Peter going forward?
Well, I always give him that one advice, I tell him, form a party. I always say to him, Peter, the only thing going forward is for you to form a party. And we would not go with NDC. We would not go with the NDC. And we will make that clear. We will not go with the NDC.
Okay. So if Peter decided not to form a party, what then would become of that support group?
Well, that if will be left to be seen. But I will say if Peter has not formed a party, then that group should form itself into a movement and start pressing for change, for these political parties to have respect for people and for we to have political change where we could get this type of freedom, where people could enjoy this type of freedom when they join a political party, we must look for political change. So the generation that coming should able to join political party and have that if a man has the ambition or has the ability to excel to the point where he become the leader of the party, he shouldn't be maligned and harassed in this kind of way. That type of treatment shouldn't be given out to another person in none of the parties.
Right.
It's time for us to change, so this group could put themselves together, moving for change.
Right.
But we that resign here, we make it clear that we're not going to end this.
Okay.
No, we're not going to end this.
And we have a viewer here asking a question. Lacey J is asking, why no one defended Peter before the convention?
Why no one defended him?
Yes.
Maybe that viewer didn't hear. People was defending Peter.
Okay.
I believe that viewer didn't hear. In my coded language, I said to the NNP, look, that road we going down is not a good road. We need to, we're going to create a soft foot. We're going to create a bleeding, and it's something that we weren't able to stop, control. And I think they was not listening. People were bent are going down the road they wanted to go, and that's it. And just that's it. So I believe what happens now was created long before. That attitude before is what creates what happens now. They wasn't listening. But to say people was not defending Peter, no, that's not true. Peter was loved and he was defended. Peter was even asked to be respectable, to stay humble, to show respect. And I think he did that. He showed it all along the way.
Right. Listen, thank you so much for jumping on and clearing this information up for us. Any last word you want to put out there before we wrap up this segment?
Well, I hope that people will be able to stand for what they believe. And in any organization you're in, anytime that organization dictates a policy to you that makes it becomes to you a cult, you should leave it. Because Grenada don't need just conservatism to run it, or center right to run it, or center left, or progressive to run it. Grenada needs all of it. And out of it, if there is a leader of any one of the grouping that shows the ability to lead the country and to bring this country forward, we should not malign that person or try to stop that leader in such a way. What we should do is to accept. We should not get ourselves tied up in this kind of ism about conservatism and progressivism and center-rightism and center-leftism. These things are just nonsense, and it does not build a healthy Grenada for us. In this Grenada, we need the best of all the ism, out of all the ism, to build our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your information. I appreciate you so much on that, guys. The breaking news, as we said earlier, please ignore the phone ringing in the background there. The breaking news, as I said earlier, is that the mass resignation that rocked the NNP as the St. George branch walks away. We're now confirming that is a total of 17 members of the St. George branch. Now, earlier this week, Peter David, who is the MP for the St. George, Tongue of St. George, resigned. And that triggered a domino effect for everyone in his constituency branch, executive members of his constituency branch, to follow suit and resign as well. We just heard, I should say, from Mr. Fabian Bowen, that, his name is Fabian Bowen, that he believes although he's a close friend with the current leader, he believed that she currently stands a little or no chance of defeating the current administration in the next general election. And that was his words. All right. So we're going to move gears a little bit, guys, from mass resignation to mass deportation, right? We did heard earlier this week in the inauguration of 47th President of the United States, Donald Trump, of the mass deportation, and he was sworn in. He campaigned on mass deportation. Now, in swearing in, he made and signed quite a few executive orders, and it is going into effect. Joining me right now on the program is our expert immigration attorney. She is the only one that could give me advice as it relates to immigration.
How you doing, Jay? How you doing? How you doing?
A
So we
lot
went from
happening.
mass resignation to mass deportation.
Deportation. Yeah,
So we can't get a break.
we
We
can't get a break.
cannot get a
We,
break. We can't get
absolutely
a
not. Absolutely not. Funde, thank you so much. I know you had a long drive from Miami,
yes,
and you are so dedicated to this that you decided to give us at least half an hour of your time to explain what's
absolutely.
happening here, and I really appreciate it.
Ab-
Funde, what's happening here? Mass deportation. Are we really going
Listen,
to do that?
before we even get to mass deportation, I just got the ping. COVID-19 vaccines are no longer required for immigration.
Okay.
Just now coming out. No
So
longer
yes,
need COVID. You no longer need the COVID-19 vaccine if you're trying to go from an undocumented to a green card holder. So I can't make this stuff up, Jay. It's non-stop, 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 from mass resignations to mass deportation. What
yes.
can I tell you?
Well, but it kind of sounded like if it was something a fantasy, it may happen, it may not happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Are we
Mhm.
really going to see mass deportation in the
Oh gosh.
United States? And
I think so. And first of all, I want everybody to kind of relax, right? I don't want to start any fear mongering. I don't want people to pack up and leave. That's not why I'm here. But remember, under Trump 1, we saw deportation. I think, not think, we are going to see a lot of our family members being taken, being removed, being deported, being sent home, being detained. We're going to see a lot of activity for some of those people who are undocumented. If you have a criminal record, you have some kind of removal order, we're going to see a lot of that activity taking place.
wow. So are we starting to see it already? Or this is this like a year out? Is it like 2 years?
No, gosh. One thing we know with this administration under the current leadership, they're not going to sit and think about it. They're going to do it. As we speak, 1,500 troops are being sent to the borders. Yes, this is not, the El Paso border is closed. Refugees, all the refugees who were approved, ready to board flights to come to the United States, those flights have been grounded. So this is immediate action that we're seeing, Jay. So this is not, you know what, next week, next year. This is immediate action. Remember, the president signed, I think, over 5 or 6 executive orders on day one, on Monday, on inauguration day, having to do with deportation. So this is not a wait and see. This is, hey, starting now, close the borders. Starting now, here are the priority of individuals who are going to be detained. Starting now. It's not next year, it's not next week.
So someone that's sitting home watching this in their living room right now, they're undocumented. What advice do you have for them? What they need to do now?
I think if you're first of all, don't pack up and leave.
Mhm.
If you're sitting on your couch, look out for scammers, people making up stories on things that they can do for you. However, I want you to, if you're sitting on your couch, if at any point you had any run-in with immigration, maybe you had filed an application, maybe you got arrested for something and you never paid attention to it, maybe you missed a date, I would encourage you to go ahead, grab those papers, and call up an immigration lawyer and just say, hey, I have these papers. I just want to see where I am. Let me do an immigration checkup. I was watching Ridealong, and they said I should grab these papers and talk to an attorney. Why? You may have an option, but you don't want to wait until you're detained by ICE or something happens and then you're calling the lawyer. So I think right now, if you're sitting at home, don't panic, but I want you to take some kind of action if you're undocumented.
What about the people who they're not fully undocumented? They're in the process of adjusting their status. What should they do now? What's happening?
I think they're safe. Don't break any laws. I really think they're safe because here's the thing. We have immigration laws that are in place. And Jay, you've heard me on the show already singing, I'm just a bill and
Yeah,
I'm sitting here. What the president is doing, he's not changing any laws. What he's doing under Article 1 of the Constitution is using executive orders to make actions in the name of national security. That is a presidential power. So he could say, as part of this executive order, no one should eat curry goat. That's
right,
how much power he has under that privilege. He can say this executive order means we're going to stop all asylum claims in the name of national security. We have to
right,
secure our borders. And guess what? Those things will go into place. Some of the things that we won't see happening is the changing of the law. That
right.
has to go through a whole different process.
Process.
So if you're in process, if you're applying for asylum, if you're applying for naturalization, if you're applying for adjustment of status through marriage or employment, and all your ducks are in a row, you should be okay because that's according to law. You've
Right,
entered the country lawfully, you're married to a United States citizen, and this marriage is valid, and you've submitted your documentation. You should not be panicking. Don't throw your money away and say, let me go hire somebody and pay them all this money because you are in a good place. You're doing exactly, Jay, what you've begged people to do for years.
right, right.
Get your house in order.
And then the executive order cannot run contrary to the Constitution.
It cannot. It absolutely cannot, Jay. It cannot. In fact, think of the executive order as me and think of the Constitution as you. If me and you go in a ring boxing, you're going to win any day of the week because you're the Constitution.
Right.
So the
Yeah.
executive orders, you'll notice they're delicate. I know there's one where he talks about birthright citizenship.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to go there yet, but I'll let you lead the way.
Yeah. No. 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 I
But
want to go there.
But he can't touch that unless there's an amendment to the Constitution.
Right. But with the power that he have or assume or have, let's say he has that the power,
Hmm. Hmm.
um, where he now controls so much branches of government, it's easier to pass a bill, and nobody would stand up to him. He has that political clout, I believe.
But this is the Constitution we're talking about, right? And he
Right.
would have to do an amendment. And remember, we still have Democrats
Yes.
and we have some moderate Republicans. So it's going to take a lot to change the Constitution. And if you think about it, he's going all the way back to slavery when they said if you were born in the United States, you're not a citizen of the United States. So for him to do that is going to take a lot. All the other executive orders, I believe, mass deportation, we'll see that. I don't believe during his next 4 years we're going to see a do away with birthright citizenship.
Right, that's important. And birthright citizenship meaning that you are born in the United States. Oh, and that's something that I wanted to bring because somebody called me and they was hysterical about this. Someone
Hmm.
left Trinidad or Grenada or Jamaica. They went into the United States for the purpose of having a baby. At
Ooh.
the 9 month, 8 month, or whatever, they
Mhm.
move to the United States and have a baby. Now, when that baby is born under his new powers, re- is that baby an American citizen or that baby does not have a status?
If
What's that baby?
if under what the president is trying to do, and if he were to have his way, that baby would not be a United States citizen. If he were to have his way, what he's proposing is that this. If the father of that child is a United States citizen and the mother is undocumented, and by undocumented, he's including individuals on a visitor's visa, he's including, you're on an H2, meaning you're not a lawful permanent resident. If that child were to born in the United States, if that father is a U.S. citizen, then absolutely the child is a U.S. citizen. However, if it's birth tourism where the mother comes in and the father is back home, Grenada, Jamaica, wherever, and that mother is on a B1, B2, then he wants it to be like Europe, like England, where that child would not become a citizen by birth. I don't think the president is going to have his way with that one, Junior. That's going to be a tall, tall, tall order. The president will not have his way with that one.
So we're saying that birthright citizenship, it is unlikely that that will change.
Highly unlikely.
And I want you to put some people who currently have their citizenship, put their mind at rest a bit, because when they hear mass deportation, they say, "Well, I wasn't born here. Oh my God, he's going to deport me too." But once you have that citizenship, naturalization, citizenship, green passport or whatever, it is very much difficult, close to impossible to have to deport you. Correct?
Absolutely. And remember, for my lawful permanent residents and for, hey, TikTok, good evening. We're on Ridealong. I have like 300 people over TikTok. Jay.
Big up TikTok.
Big up TikTok. Ridealong, Ridealong, Ridealong. Listen, Jay, for lawful permanent residents, meaning you have your green card, LPR, you have your green card. For naturalized citizens, meaning you were not born here. Not that we're untouchable, but as it stands, we will not be affected. We will not be affected unless if you're a lawful permanent resident and you break the law and they're going to deport you, that's another story. But when the president talks about mass deportation, he's talking about undocumented. We used to we used to say, illegals. The illegals. We don't use that word anymore. We say undocumented. Those are high priority. Individuals with removal orders, meaning you were ordered deported from the United States and you never left. If you have a deportation order, you are on the chopping block. If you've committed some kind of crime, it is highly likely, if it's a deportable offense, meaning all of my friends that love to smoke that little weed and you get caught with possession, 20 grams or more, that is a deportable offense. So those individuals are running the risk of being detained. So if you come into contact with law enforcement, or if you come into contact with ICE, or you come into contact with immigration at any point, it is highly likely that you will be detained. But for my lawful permanent residents, you have your green card. You're a United States citizen. I believe, especially our citizens, first of all, they'd have to denaturalize us, Jay. You know what that process is like?
It's a long process, lengthy process.
Difficult. It's a lengthy process. So we are safe, especially our United States citizens. Green card holders, hold the peace. Don't break the law. Walk good. If you're eligible for naturalization, now is the time. Go get naturalized. If you're eligible for naturalization, sending the naturalization application.
Absolutely. What about the people who are undocumented? They are doing their regular thing. They're not getting into major trouble, but they're driving, or say that they drive in a car, or they're a passenger in a car, and the person get pulled over for a misdemeanor, something, not having a driver's license, broken tail light, whatever, what have you. Could they then search you and interrogate you about your naturalization status and then put you into the deportation?
So that's what some of the laws that we're seeing in place. They're saying, hey, when you come in contact with law enforcement officer can ask you about your status, right? If you come into contact with law enforcement officer, they can ask you about your status. And when I say come into contact, I mean they pull you over for maybe a broken tail light, right?
Yes.
They pull you over because you made a wrong turn. They pull you over for speeding. Remember, law enforcement officer has the right, one, to do what we call a Terry stop. Legally, it's called, they can ask you some questions. Then, if they have any reasonable suspicion that a crime is afoot, they can go further. So, for example, Jay, you're smoking weed and they smell weed in the car. That is reasonable suspicion to now search that car and detain the occupants. So, if they look and they see the paraphernalia, the vape pipe, the oil, and these are real cases I'm talking about. They look
Yeah.
in the car and there's that thing with the marijuana oil. That's a paraphernalia. That's forbidden by state law, right? So they can say, hey, let me just see. That's a contraband. Let me see what's going on. And yes, they can go a step further, search the car. If they then detain you and you end up at a police station, they're going to run your background and they're going to see that you're not a lawful permanent resident. The next thing will be an ICE hold. They're holding you for ICE.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how the story begins. No, I don't have a criminal history. Yes, I'm undocumented, but now I'm driving without a driver's license. I get stopped, something leads to something, and before you know it, I'm being detained.
Yes. Yes. Let me just answer a question here. Someone asked this question: are you an immigration lawyer? Yes. Yes. He
I
is.
am attorney Diani Winterfunde. I'm a practicing attorney. In fact, May 21st of this year will be
Uh,
21 years that I've been practicing law. See,
Absolutely.
Jay, I have the gray
Yeah.
hairs and I'm not dyeing them.
Uh,
I was gonna dye it. I'm not dyeing it.
keep it there. Keep it there. That's wisdom. That's wisdom right
Yes,
there.
I refuse to. I refuse to. I refuse to dye it.
Yes. So what about domestic travel? What about domestic travel? Should people travel? Go
Here's
Florida.
the thing. Now I talk about some of the bills that are coming in. One of the things that they want to start doing is for domestic travel, they start verifying that you have status. Remember before, Jay, I used to say domestic travel, go ahead. You should be fine. Once you don't leave the continental United States, you're not visiting Puerto Rico, you're not visiting all these other countries. Now you have to be careful. Now you have to be careful. Remember, the president is deeming this a national security. He's deeming it. Remember, we had the gangs out in Colorado, the gangs from Venezuela that was taking over apartment complexes in Colorado. Our borders are not, our borders are a mess. I've gone to the borders. They're a mess. People are coming in. We don't know who is coming in. So because of that, the good is kind of going to suffer for the bad. Because the
Right.
president wants to shut everything down. And in the process, the good is going to suffer for the bad.
Yes. 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 Wow. Now I want you to add some clarity as well. That does not mean that you cannot get a visa to come to the United States. That has
Oh,
nothing to do
great.
that, and you find there.
Absolutely not.
And if you are and you travel to the United States and given that 6 month stay, you are fine. You're legally, duly able to be here for that time period. So that does not affect you either. You're not going to be deported after 3 months because you have 6 months. So I
Yeah.
want to put that clarification out there. What next? What is the next step? What are you advising your clients to do at this point?
I am saying don't panic. Jay, I want the dust to settle. Here's the thing. This president on the campaign trail made a lot of promises to his base. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I want the dust to settle because what's going to happen, Jay, we're going to see a lot of lawsuits. Agencies like the ACLU, the American Civil Liberties Union, agencies like AILA, American Immigration Lawyers Association. We're going to see a bunch of lawsuits going after some of these executive orders. So some of these orders will be litigated in court. If you decide to jump, if you decide I'm going to pack my bags and leave, we cannot help you if you're not here. So I would say to everyone, let the dust settle. Remember, this is day 2. This is only day 2. What's happening is that there's so many, everybody's talking about it, so people are getting nervous. So, number one, let the dust settle. I know here in Florida, a lot of people are not even leaving their homes. Yes, they're like, I'm not leaving, I'm not leaving. But I would say let the dust settle. I want you and I, Jay, to be a voice of calm.
Yes.
Tune into Ride Along weekly, daily, whenever, because you and I will be continuing. Every day something changes.
Yes.
Remember the president, a mad smart, so every day I don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah. Can't
Every
predict.
day I had to, I have to, man, forget people look at vernaculars because, we don't know who will listen. But
Yeah.
every day something is changing, Jay. So I want us to be like a voice of calm for our community. People look to you for guidance. So they got to trust that Ride Along will bring them the latest update. Remember,
100.
I'm driving in from Miami, coming from ICE today where my client was detained. And I
That
was doing 100 miles an hour because I'm like, Jay, I'll make it. I'll call in. Whatever we can do to make sure our audience, our community, they already trust us, right? So I want us to be a voice of calm.
yes.
I want us to
Absolutely.
be a voice of calm. Um, you know, there are people in place that will give you the right information. I know it's easy to go onto everybody's TikTok, everybody's show because you want to hear what's happening. I would just say you and I can be that voice of calm. That's number
Absolutely.
one. Number
Absolutely.
two, gather up if you don't have a green card and you're listening to me, gather up every paper in your house having to do with your status. Anything you've applied for with immigration, anything immigration has denied, right? Maybe you submitted an application, it got denied, and you turned your back. Gather all that up and talk to someone. Reach out to someone. That's what I
Absolutely.
would recommend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Guys, again, you are right, Diane, when you said we could be that voice of reason. Because I tell this
Mhm.
story. I don't know if I told you the story. That being on deportation order, that was me. A few years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, a few years ago, I went through it. And the only reason
Ah.
why I ended up on deportation order was because I missed the appointment for my green card interview. And they said, get out. So I was there. I
Ooh.
w- I was what they used to call at one point in time an illegal alien. I
Mhm.
hated that whole
Mhm.
term. So we I live that life, and it is
Mhm.
a horrible life.
Yes.
So I want to focus on helping people so they don't have to live that life. My father died, and I couldn't even travel back for his funeral. So that's the most
Ooh.
horrible. That's the worst thing, worst part of it. So I want to make sure that we provide that information to our audience so they change, adjust their status, so they don't have to go through what I went through and what a lot of people are going through right now. You could adjust your status, and I am recommending Gianni Winterfundy, give her a call and make that adjustment of status. Get it right. Get it right. She hooked me up. Now I have my passport. I could travel.
Yes.
I've been in Grenada for like a month and some.
And I bet you're not even paying, you're paying attention to what's going on because you have the show.
Yes.
But if you didn't have the show, you could be in Grenada ordering another mimosa.
Yes.
You could literally be like, may I have another, please?
Yes.
Because you're sorted. And that's, you and I have been preaching
Yes.
this for decades. Hey guys, let's get the house in order. Let's get your house in order, especially when you are in the driver's seat. You get to make the decisions. Let's get the house in order. If you're a citizen, I think you're okay. I'm a citizen, I'm not worried. You know, I've lived here a long time. If Trump wants to denaturalize me, me and him can fight it out somewhere. But I think you're okay. If you're a lawful permanent resident, just stay put for the 5 years and get that naturalization done. And then you don't have to worry about anything. If you are undocumented, meaning you have a process in place, you're undocumented and you have nothing filed with immigration, now is the time to do so. For those of you who have those old, what we call is deportation orders, what we call it in our community, you got paper to go to court. You got paper to go somewhere. You got an appointment notice, but you didn't show up. Dig them up, dig them up. Go to a lawyer if you can't find them. We can do a FOIA and get it for you, but you got to take action. Take some kind of action.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yanni, anything else that we want to add? I know you have a hard stop at 10 minutes. We can open up the phone. Let's open up the phone line just for a
Yes,
few
absolutely.
calls.
Absolutely. Let's do the phone lines.
718-701-5720, guys. We have just a few minutes, so please call now. You could call on WhatsApp or you could call straight, direct. It's Ride Along Live. And guys, listen. If you check for the past few years, Ride Along Live has been the only platform. Ridealong Live and DNA Winter Fund Day platform
Mhm.
has been the only platform providing you with consistent immigration information consistently. So
Weekly.
probably
We used to be weekly every Wednesday, Wednesday
we
fun
have
day.
been consistent over the
Yeah.
past 8 to 10 years. So you could trust in our information. I trust in Diane and her abilities, her capabilities, and I know you'll be thoroughly satisfied. I mean, Diane, I remember you send the documents for me, and we don't stay in the same state, and everything you sign here, big sign here, like a finger point, sign here, sign here, sign here. And that's all I had to do. And next thing I know, boom,
Boom, boom,
that's it.
boom,
That was
boom.
it. So I
Calling
really
number,
appreciate
my calling number, they're asking for the number.
it. Okay.
I'll give that to you. 813-807-7015. 813-807-7015. Or
All right.
visit us at winterlaw.com. Visit us at winterlaw.com.
Absolutely. We got a caller on the line. Let me see if I can take that caller right now. Caller, you live? Where you calling us from? Caller, are you there? Hold on.
Good evening.
Yeah. Hi, caller. Go right ahead.
I have a question for the diva lawyer. I cannot find my citizenship certificate. What should I do?
Hey, caller. Good evening. Good evening. So, when did you get your citizenship certificate?
Well, Bill Clinton is the one on my certificate. How many years? How many years is that?
Bill
So you
Clinton. She got
lost it. So you have your passport?
Yes, I do.
You have your U.S. passport, then you should be okay. If you have your
All
U.S.
right.
passport, that is proof that you're a citizen. Otherwise, you can file a replacement. The form is the
Okay.
N600. N600 for your replacement naturalization certificate. It's going to take about a year, maybe a year and a half. They'll send you a new one in the mail.
Yeah.
Wow.
But once you have your
Okay.
passport, caller, once you
You
have your
have your
passport,
passport, you're okay.
you're fine. You're fine.
You're okay with your passport.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Again, 718-701-5720, guys. We have a hard stop at 10 o'clock. So you guys have to call now. Please don't wait. And don't call after and say, damn, I want to find out this, but I didn't want to call. If you want to muffle your voice, put like a handkerchief over the phone or whatever. I don't know. If you don't want
Yes.
people to know it's you, that's okay. But call us right now and get that information. You could call the Honey Winter Fun Day. Her number directly is 813-807-7015. The number is on the screen. Or book a consultation. What is the website, Fun Day?
www.winterlaw.com. www.winterlaw.com. You can book your chat, call in. However, and the number is 813-807-7015.
And that's the number right there, guys. You could call, you could book that chat, but get your information sorted out. We're going to tell you about VAWA. She's going to tell you about how you could adjust your status in so many different ways. Whatever you have to do, guys. Do it now. Don't wait. Don't stick. Get that adjustment. Get that status adjusted. We got another caller on the line. Caller, you live. Where are you calling us from?
Good night. I'm calling from Grenada.
Grenada. Go right
Hey,
ahead.
Grenada.
Okay. Good evening. If you file a I-130 and you're in the States, can you leave and go back to your country, or do you have to stay? It's only the I-130 that was sent in.
Okay, so thank you, caller. Who's filing for who? Mom filing for dad? Who's filing for who, caller?
Wife filing for husband. Wife is a U.S. citizen.
And the husband, how is the husband in the United States? They're on a B1, B2, what
On a
visa?
visitor's visa.
And their visitor's visa is good?
Yes, it's good.
And they haven't overstayed their time?
No, not. I think I have 2 more months or 1 more month.
All right. So in that case, if they're good, and if it's only the I-130 that has been filed, they can leave. If everything you tell me is true, wife is a U.S. citizen, husband is here on a visitor's visa, and she has on her I-94 2 more months, and only the I-130 has been filed, yes, she can depart.
Yes.
She can
Oh,
depart.
okay. And when he departs, can he come back in before he gets the green card or so?
Yes, yes, so long as everything you told me is correct.
Yes.
All right. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much, caller.
And you can always schedule a
Thanks
chat with
very
us so we can look at everything for you and make sure everything is accurate before you make a move.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you
You're
so much.
most welcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We're changing lives here on Ride Along Live, giving you the information that or you could adjust your status. And again, we are committed to this. We are committed to continue doing this. And we urge you, as Deanna Winter said earlier, don't panic. Relax, get your stuff in order, just start working on your stuff. You don't need to panic. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about the impact that mass deportation may have on Caribbean islands, because we obviously, if you have mass deportation where a lot of criminal who learned their criminality in America and they are
Yes.
now being deported to small
Yes.
islands like Trinidad and Jamaica and Grenada, now you have a bigger problem. They're
Let me
bringing
share. Let me
all
share. And let me share this too, Jay. One of the things I have, and I'm protecting my clients' privacy. I won't say country. I won't say anything. One of the concerns, you know what they said? They don't even have a house to go back to.
Exactly.
And they're getting ready to be potentially deported. And they were more terrified that they left their home country in the 1980s and now they're getting ready. It's possible they may, right? And one of the concerns is, and that's another conversation we can have, Jay, about like, how do you set yourself up just in case? Get a little shack on your island, your home country, just in case. And because that was one of the concerns. Where am I going back to? There's nothing to go back to. You're talking about individuals that have lived here for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And now the government is saying it's time for you to go home, but home is here.
Yes.
The entire family moved here. So it's almost like reverse migration.
Yes.
It's
yes.
reverse and it's going to affect the Caribbean. It's going to affect us because a lot of people don't have a family support. They don't have anything to go back to.
Right.
They have nothing to go back to.
Wow. So Caribbean governments have to prepare for that. Because even in New York, what we see and what we continue to see in New York, people are just sleeping on the side of the streets.
Yes. Yes. I think some of the Caribbean islands are gonna, because you have people here with mental health issues that will be sent back home. We don't have mental health systems in Jamaica. It's little to nothing. And then
Right.
you're talking about homelessness. We don't have a welfare system.
True.
So a lot of the Caribbean islands should be bracing themselves for the possibility of what's to come.
Yeah. And then you're looking at, they have to survive. They have to eat at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
And you talking about people who are, I'm not saying they're all criminals, but some people who might be locked up or incarcerated for drug possession, gun possession, or what have you. Now they don't have a home, they don't have friends, they come into an area, they have to eat, they have to survive. What do you think will happen? Obviously, is not a good thing. We're not in a very good place, and we just have to hope and pray. I don't know what this is. This is terrible. This is terrible. Absolutely terrible. But Diana Winter Day, thank you so much. We are
Thank you
7:59
as always. Thank
my
you
time.
so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Short notice, but I appreciate you so much.
I
Again,
love it. And we'll be back and I'll keep posting whenever anything changes. I'll send it to you in WhatsApp. You can post it on the group. Anything I see change with USCIS. But like I said, we are going to be the voice of calm.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jay. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah. Guys, this is, of course, that's her home. Right Along Live is Deanna Winter's home. We are the home for information that would better and improve the community. We are saying, guys, this is a situation that we expect to really impact the Caribbean community. Mass deportation will affect everyone. Governments of the Caribbean have to prepare themselves for these people. I want to say these people because I don't want to isolate them. People who left or was brought into the United States, probably left at the age that I left. I left when I was 15, 16, because my whole family moved. So I had to move, right? and they went into the United States. So some of them got into illegal activities. Not all of them. Some of them got into illegal activities. Some of them are incarcerated. And now, because of the new president and the um, the whole push by the new executive to mass deport, starting with high-profile criminal. A lot of these high-profile criminal would be sent back to these countries: Grenada, Trinidad, Jamaica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, and we're talking about a lot of people, right? We're talking about a lot of people because oftentimes, if you think that Grenada has 100,000 people, in America there are probably 200, 300, 400,000 people, Grenadian, first and second and third, probably as much as 500,000 people in the United States, Canada, and England that are Grenadian parentage, first and second generation. So just think about the effect that it would have on the economy. So Caribbean leaders have to prepare themselves for this, seriously, if it were to take in action as it is. Guys, let me tell you really quick before we go on a break. This program is brought to you with the kind compliments of Ride, Excursion, and Tours, and we are committed to giving you and bringing you late-breaking information as it relates to immigration. Now, let me say this, guys. Today is a very important day. It's a very important day for me because it was today, 1 year ago, that we had an official launch of our Ride Excursion. It has always been my aspiration to bring excursion of this sort, high profile, great, amazing excursion to Grenada. It wasn't until after my travels in Bahamas. I went to Nassau, Bahamas, and I remember seeing so many different things. And I told myself, you see this, I'm going to try this in Grenada. And it wasn't until I took a cruise ship with my family, and we went from St. Lucia to Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, St. Martin, a few Caribbean islands. And when we got to Grenada, and has been my motivation, when we got to Grenada, I remember quizzing some of the folks on the cruise ship, and I asked them, I said, what do you think about my beautiful island? They said they love it. I love your island. The only thing is that we didn't have a lot of things to do. That was them. That was people telling me. And the minute time I heard that, I decided that I don't care if I have to do it alone, because I remember speaking to tourism board already and I expressing that to them, like things that need to be changed, right? But you cannot always rely on the tourism sector, on the tourism board, on the GTA, at the time Grenada Tourism Authority, all these different names. You cannot only rely on them. So I decided to make a difference. So after quizzing these people, and they telling me that Grenada don't have sufficient excursion, don't have sufficient things to do, I decided to do something about it. What I did, I went into different territories and I learned about excursions that they do and how they market it. I went to Jamaica. I went to so much different things in Jamaica, and I've been just taking notes. And it was today, the 22nd of January 2024, I officially launched Ride e-bike. Remember this? Yes, it was today. It's our 1 year anniversary since we launched our Ride e-bike. But it has always been a plan to increase and excel on the ride, right? It was written in the stars. So we planned by the time the first year, we should have at least 4 additional excursions under our belt. So recently, last month, we launched the Ride Tuk-Tuk. And of course, you guys seen the Ride Tuk-Tuks because they're all over the place. People don't quite know how to handle the whole improvement. We've been getting a lot of pushback, a lot of flack, a lot of people who are, I think they love the initiative, but they just kind of getting adaptive to it. So we launched Ride Tuk-Tuk 1 month ago. And after launching Ride Tuk-Tuk 1 month ago, speeding up, expediting the process of having that done, we are now happy to see that based on our Christmas activities, we had Christmas in the Park where they had over 18,000 people, and we are strategically located inside the cruise ship terminal. We were able to see over 10,000 people on those tuk-tuks and on our excursion for in one single month. Earlier this week, up to 2 days ago, guys, we made good on our promise. We made good on our promise to bring this kind of excursion that I saw in places like Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Bahamas, went to Nassau, Bahamas, and other parts of the world, and bring it where people could enjoy this excursion here in Grenada. We made good on that promise, guys, and we're happy to say that we launched just 2 days ago our Ride the Wave, which is a e-bike. It's like a bike, but it's on the water. Yeah, you can bike on the water. You're actually paddling on the water. And I had such a great time on the water. We launched it yesterday, and it was amazing. And tomorrow, guys, starting tomorrow, the general public will be able to participate in all 4 of our activities. Of course, we have the donut boat as well. So big up to Bay Shore with the donut boat. We're also promoting and endorsing you support the donut boat. But this week, guys, tomorrow to be exact, you now could ride our excursion on the water. Ride the Wave, officially launched tomorrow. You could ride the wave at the Grand Anse Beach. It's amazing. And I want to thank everyone for making this possible. It has been a lot of pressure. It has been a lot of hard work. A few of my staff that started with us on the journey, they're not with us anymore, but they too played an integral part in the success of the company thus far. But there are people that you may hire or bring in as a part of your business, and it just doesn't work out, right? And we had a clear vision as to what we needed to do. And if at some point in time, some people felt like they've been pushed too hard, I am a very focused person in terms of what I want. I probably am too focused sometimes, but some people might not like my vision or how I try to get things done. Some people may not want to be pushed to the limit because some people just, that's not their style, right? So a lot of people had to get out of the way. A lot of people had to get fired. A lot of people just had to quit, right? That's what happens. But we are here today and we're stronger. And thanks to everyone who stuck around thus far. So we have our virtual riders. You guys are our riders. But today we have a series of our actual physical riders on the tuk-tuk, on the e-bikes, and now also on the Ride the Waves. We thank you guys so much for your support. We thank you so much for the love, the dedication, and just being a part. Sometimes just giving a word of encouragement, because I too sometimes sit there and like, oh my God, what am I doing? Sometimes I even second guess myself. All right, that's something I try not to do. But sometimes I actually second guess myself. I took a whole 2 months out of everything that I'm doing in New York, came down to Grenada to structure the business, and I am here. And people asking me, when you're going back? Every day, even Lacey G. When you're going back? The truth about it is, I have a clear vision as to what I want to accomplish, and I will leave when that vision is accomplished. I'm not going to half step on it. But to everyone, I have the patience with me, my family back in New York, who has been so good. My kids and everyone, they have been so good in being there for me. I say thank you so much. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Attention, Grenadians and friends. Join us for a night of celebration and culture as the Consulate General of Grenada in New York, in collaboration with the Grenada Independence Anniversary Committee, proudly present Grenada's 51st Anniversary of Independence Gala. Mark your calendars for Saturday, February 1st at the Anthems located at 9643 Springfield Boulevard in Queens Village. The festivities kick off at 9 p.m. and continue until 2 a.m. Formal attire is required. Enjoy an unforgettable evening filled with vibrant entertainment from the sensational NSYNC band and DJ Jude. Tickets are just $200 and they are available by calling the Grenada Consulate at 212-590 899-0301. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to celebrate Grenada's independence with friends and family. Join us for a night of unity, joy, and pride in our heritage. We can't wait to see you there.
Looking for the ultimate island experience? Hop on the Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tour and explore Grenada like never before. Feel the tropical breeze, sip on authentic Caribbean rum punch, and cruise through Grenada's stunning scenery in our unique and fun tuk-tuks. It's the perfect blend of adventure and island flavor. Book your unforgettable tour now at ride.gd or call 473-422-1011. Don't just see Grenada, experience it with Ride Tuk Tuk Rum Punch Tours today.
Are you a progressive young leader, a proactive emerging executive, a rising professional? Then you need appropriate cover for your vehicle. Introducing the Pro Motor Plan from Beacon. Car insurance that includes free loss of use, windscreen cover up to $3,500, free special perils, free accident forgiveness. Get Beacon's Pro Motor Plan today. Don't procrastinate. Call Beacon today at 440-4447 or
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thanks for being a part of our program. As we keep our media platform strong, guys, we are growing. We are growing. We are growing. Thanks to the people on Facebook, on TikTok. Yes, we live on TikTok as well. And also on YouTube. We are all over the place and we continue to grow exponentially, reaching over 10 million viewers in 1 month. I'm so happy of the progress of the platform. So thank you again, guys. And don't forget, if you want to advertise with us, if you want to get your business out there, stop keeping it a secret, advertise with Ridealong Live. Here's how.
Are you looking to take your business or event to the next level? Advertise on Ridealong Live and reach over 10 million viewers worldwide every month. With a global audience tuning in for the latest news, entertainment, and culture, your message will get the exposure it deserves. Don't miss the opportunity to showcase your brand to a diverse and engaged audience. Ridealong Live, where the world watches and your business grows.
What if you had a choice? A choice of joining a line or a choice of making your purchases online? What would you choose? While you ponder on that, the National Lotteries Authority has provided another purchasing option. All their games are now available online. Yes, Grenadians! From wherever you are, purchase your favorite daily and jackpot type games using any electronic device. Register on the NLA's website at www.nla.gd. Top up your account and enjoy online lottery gaming at your convenience. We're taking shopping comfort up, up, up several notches. But the choice is yours. Join a line or buy online. NLA, make your dreams come true.
Again, guys, thank you for being a part of our program. Catch you guys again tomorrow. Good night.
Ride along live, worldwide. Feel the beat, feel the vibe. Amazing host leading the ride. Power to the people, we shine. Giving fans what they need. Caribbean spirit, let's succeed. Every show with a good deed. Together we plant the seed. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong. Energy high, heart so bright. Tune in, feel the light. Global love taking flight. Every ride a sheer delight. Making waves across the seas. Love and joy in the breeze. Ride along live if you please. Bringing hope with such ease. Ride along, join the dance, let's sing the song. From island to island strong, with the host, we belong.